Hello, YouTube. How you doing? I hope you're doing very well this Friday. We got a lot to cover. We are doing a continuation of discussing Epstein and discussing the Epstein and Donald Trump situation, the one they're trying to sweep under the rug, but we, the American citizens, we are not allowing them to sweep this whole Epstein list under the rug. We're going to be talking about it. Hello, King Allen. How you doing? As you all come in, please hit the like button. The likes are free. It doesn't cost you anything to like my video. You are actually blessing me when you like my video. And if you like to donate to my channel, you can send me a super chat. And my Venmo and PayPal link is in the description. So if you want to bless me in that way as well, you can. We got a lot to cover. I'm not going to do much jibber jabber because we only have an hour's worth of time for me to give y'all the goods. So we're going to get started. Those of you just coming in, again, hit that like button. If you want to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats, Venmo, or PayPal. So again, this is Life Under Trump. And Life Under Trump, we're covering the Epstein list situation. So many people are now considering resigning from their position in the FBI. Kash Patel is being said that he's considering it as well. And the other guy, I can't think of his name, but I'll show you, okay? He's considering resigning as well because he doesn't agree with Bondi. And they're having like a back and forth situation amongst each other. It's a lot going on, and I know y'all not surprised. Hello, Willow. How you doing? So we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? Just a moment. I'm going to clean my iPad screen because y'all know I be having fingerprints all over it. Thank you for coming to my live. So this video I'm about to show you, it is about Kash Patel. He's now considering quitting over the Epstein debacle.
The hits just keep on coming today. We're now learning that FBI Director Kash Patel is considering resigning over the Epstein files cover-up. He is absolutely livid at Attorney General Pam Bondi for her role in this all. Of course, they never end up blaming Donald Trump, the person who's behind it all. But we reported earlier, as you remember, Dan Bongino, the deputy FBI director, he did not show up to work. He is considering resigning. Well, now we're learning that Patel is in the same boat. We're learning about these blow-ups happening in the White House right now. The infighting in the White House has never been greater. This is an existential crisis unfolding before our eyes for this White House, and they know it. No formal decision has yet been made about Patel, if he's going to leave, if he's going to stay. They're not yet sure what they're going to do about Pam Bondi. Are they going to force her out or not? But if she does not leave, we are hearing right now that Patel and Bongino are considering leaving themselves. We're going to continue to follow this fast-moving story. Make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We've got a new episode out right now. Well, the hits just keep on coming today.
Be sure to subscribe to Midas Touch Network. It is like one of the best YouTube channels on YouTube. Everything that I show you all is fair use, educational purpose, and great research purposes, and entertainment. Next, I'm going to show y'all a video from YouTube from Occupy Democrats, and it is talking about Pam Bondi, our attorney, when she was Attorney General of Florida, and now she is the Attorney General. She is, I guess, the same here at the now in Washington at the Oval Office with Dunny Boy. I'm a little exhausted. Bear with me. It's been storming, raining here. I got caught out in the rain. I should have been home way before I have gotten home, but due to it was storming, raining, I'm just a little thrown off, but hang in there with me. I got you. I got you. I love you. Just a moment. So this is what it's saying about Pam Bondi. I'm going to show you, then I'm going to read it to you, okay? It has been said, this was posted by Occupy Democrats. Pam Bondi was the Attorney General of Florida from 2011 to 2019. She let Epstein slide then. She also nixed the Trump University case for which he only paid a $2,500 fine. Bondi is not credible. There is a clients list. Trump is on it. There it is. Whoop. There it is. Trump is on it. And I knew she was covering for him. We all knew that. So CNN just ruins Trump's Friday. And I'm going to show you what they're talking about. As you come in, hit the like button. Thank you for coming to my live. This is from Occupy Democrats.
Well, he got hammered from both the left and the right. A moment where politicians, pundits, and the masses from all political persuasions united in sounding
hit the like button, you guys. Thank you.
Well, that moment is now, and the radioactive dumpster fire that is burning under Trump that can't be extinguished is the Epstein files. I have what's fanning the flames and a just released report by CNN that reveals how bad the damage is coming up next. There is so much content available on this story right now, but my favorite part is the outrage by Republicans who are usually somewhere on the spectrum between compliant and worshiping of Trump. Let's start there as we build towards the stunning CNN report. In this first clip, we have a blonde-on-blonde assault as Megyn Kelly tears into Attorney General Pam Bondi for her performative role that has led to this massive Trump headache.
I think she was thirsty for attention. I think she was enjoying the hits on Fox, on Hannity, on Waters, in the middle of the day with John Roberts and saying, like, I've got all the answers on Epstein. I've got all the juicy dish, and I'll be the one to give it to you, until she either found out that wasn't true and realized this is why attorneys general don't talk like this ever about their ongoing investigations.
That's
ever.
True.
There's only so much transparency you're supposed to get from an attorney general, given the way criminal investigations work.
And this next clip would be comical if it wasn't so serious. Watch as pro-Trump influencer Jack Krasobiak explains how he was duped into taking a ride in the Epstein propaganda clown car, and now he wonders where it went.
Well, I know that I was brought to the White House for a series of policy briefings, and along with a number of other conservative individuals, AG Bondi came in. She brought with her this set of binders and said, hey guys, you all want the Epstein files, right? And we're sort of looking around going, well, no one said anything about Epstein on the agenda today, but sure, where was the hype train? Well, it's, again, this was the way that it was rolled out. And we were always told that there's going to be phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So by the time I actually looked through it, it took a couple of minutes to sit down and say, wait a minute, this stuff is already out before. Where's the rest of it? We kept being told over and over that more was coming, that it hadn't been declassified yet. And it was just a complete break of trust, a complete and absolute break of trust, especially for, a group of people like us who, look, we were invited there and we came because we wanted to help.
And check out this video featuring Alan Dershowitz, a former Trump lawyer. The video is actually a couple of months old, but it is just now going viral. And once you see it, you'll understand why.
I tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one.
And now for the CNN bombshell that reveals how Trump and Bondi turned some smoldering coals into a 5-alarm disaster.
What a massive unforced error by the Trump administration. Donald Trump would love this story to go away, but in fact, interest is climbing higher and higher, to quote Jackie Wilson. Look at this. Google searches for Epstein up 1,200% this week versus last. And get this, it is currently the top topic search with Trump on Google alongside his presidency. So Donald Trump normally, leans into stories in which there's controversy, like tariffs, for example. This is a story in which he's trying to get away from, basically saying, why is anyone still interested in this story? But the bottom line is people are very interested in this story to historic degrees, at least this week.
Give us some perspective. You see that 1,200 number about other stories and comparison, how people are viewing this one.
Yeah, okay. So, I mentioned tariffs earlier on, right? Epstein has been Googled a lot since Monday. He has actually been Googled 1.4 times as much as tariffs has been Googled. And that is, of course, a huge news story. How about Grok, which is another insane news story this week? I mean, my goodness gracious. But in fact, Epstein has been Googled 2.5 times as much as the Grok story has been Googled. So the bottom line is this is a story in which there's a lot of interest. And it's one of the few stories in which both Steve Bannon and Elon Musk are going after Trump. At least the Trump administration, he's managed to bring together two parts of the administration or two parts of the fan base that have normally been against each other.
Yeah, you can bet on anything, and this proves it. What are you seeing as far as whether or not people think that they will actually release these Epstein files?
Yeah, I know my buddy Vin from Jersey would love for the Trump administration to release more Epstein files. But get this, Trump releasing more Epstein files in 2025. This is the betting market. You go back 2 months ago, it was 43%. You go back even a month ago, it was 39%. But now it's just at 20%. I think that there are going to be a lot of the normally MAGA fan base who are going to be very disappointed. And this is all a self-inflicted error by Trump and the Trump administration.
Many in the administration were pushing all these conspiracy theories, promising bombshells when they got into office, and nothing.
It turns out what goes around sometimes comes around when you push conspiracy theories.
That is true. All right, Harry Enton, it is a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Over to you, Kate.
How did we get to this moment in time, and why is the MAGA fan base so disappointed? When the scandal began, they went all in on the story because it delivered a conspiracy, which of course they love, and it implicated people like Bill Clinton and Bill Gates, who are always at the top of their deep state enemies list. But what's fascinating is, now that Donald Trump is the focus of the story, the pit bulls on the righteous right won't let go. And that's the twist that Trump and his team did not see coming. The Epstein files were supposed to be a conspiracy club they could bash the so-called liberal elite with, but it turned out to be a boomerang that keeps circling and delivering blow after blow, much to the delight of the left. Donald Trump probably thought he could ride this storm out by shouting fake news or a witch hunt, and Bondi probably thought the world would move on after she said nothing to see here. But this is more than just a scandal. It is a reckoning. And just when we didn't think there was a limit to the worship of the MAGA base, we now find ourselves in the weird position of standing with them to hold Trump and those participating in the Epstein cover-up accountable. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Please leave your comments below, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.
Subscribe to Occupy Democracy. Occupy Democrats, Democracy, I'm sorry. You guys, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. No, Trump don't like heat on himself, but he don't like somebody still in his spotlight. Because right now, Epstein is still in the spotlight. He's an unalive man taking Donnie's shine. And y'all know Donald Trump is an attention whore. He does not like that. He's not liking it at all. Epstein is still in his shine from the grave, honey. Donnie, Epstein has stole your shine from the grave, baby. You know you don't like that. You attention hoe.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is that. I mean, there's
hit the like button, please.
Control of the director of the FBI, just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school. Yeah. We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game. That's why you don't have a Black Book.
So, but the Black Book, it's not just
hit the like button.
I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book. And not just that. On day one, roll out all of the text message communications we were told were deleted. On day one, play the rest of the video of the pipe bomber. On day, one of the reforms I talk about in government gangsters is you need a central node to be continuously declassifying. This is another thing they do. They overclassify. And I'm telling you, as a former number 2 in the IC, they overclassify 50% of the stuff there to protect the deep state. Oh, no, you can't see that. Nothing to see here. Gino was a master at it, of doing it. And we still haven't seen half of the Russiagate report that we wrote. Still under lock and key. On how the ICA was originally constructed. We put 10,000 man hours against John Brennan's team that did it. And we found out why they came up with their bogus conclusion. We couldn't sell it to the world because we couldn't talk about it, and the government gangsters came in and buried it. All of these things, there needs to be a continuing central power, whether it's the White House or offsite, that says every request that comes in, just right out the door, as long as it's not a major threat to national security.
So who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who?
And right now, he is the lead for the FBI. And it's being said that he plans on resigning. I don't think he will. He likes power. He just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump's entire cabinet of power, they power thugs. They love power and they like to be thugs. Yes.
Some stunning news right now from Wired, which is reporting that the Epstein raw video was likely manipulated prior to being posted by the Department of Justice, and it's only going to fuel conspiracy theories even more as to why it was likely manipulated. Metadata that was embedded in the video and analyzed by Wired and independent video forensic experts show that rather than being a direct export from the surveillance system of the MDC prison where Epstein was held, the footage was modified, likely using Adobe Premiere Pro. The file then was assembled from at least 2 different clips, saved multiple times, and uploaded to the DOJ's website, where the DOJ claims it was a raw file, but it clearly wasn't. Now, experts are cautioning that it's unclear exactly what was changed, and that the metadata does not prove deceptive manipulation. It may have just been processed for public release using available software with no modifications. Remember, there is a 1-minute clip missing from the raw video. And at the end of the day, the hits just keep on coming, because ultimately what's going to end up happening is it's just going to fuel theories even more. Spread the word so more people know and follow along for more. We have some
subscribe to Aaron Partners. He's one of the top dogs on YouTube as well. He's doing his thing. He's a great attorney. Midas Touch Network, Ben and his brothers, they are amazing attorneys as well. So when I'm showing you people, they are great people. They are leading the way. They have millions of subscribers. I would love to make it to that. So please subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. And my Venmo and PayPal link is in my description. So I'm going to show y'all something. And this is why Donnie Boy is lying to the American people about Epstein. So I'm going to show you that I am going to read it, okay? Donald Trump is in his court case filings. It says, Trump is Doe 174 in the Epstein civil court case. Unsealed Doe, DOE, 174 records. Do you still want due process, Donnie? No, Donald Trump don't want due process, because all the things that he has done with Epstein is just going to fall out of his closet. All of his skeletons are just going to fall out, and he doesn't want that. He wants to keep MAGA in the dark.
Assistant FBI Director Dan Bongino is now considering resigning following the fallout from the Trump administration's cover-up of
Hit the like button, please.
Bongino has reportedly told us now to multiple people things in the White House are in complete disarray. This was originally reported by MAGA influencer Laura Loomer, and it has now been confirmed by CNN. Bongino did not even show up for work today amid fighting between the FBI leadership in the midst of this whole cover-up, and all signs point to this being orchestrated by none other than Donald Trump. Of course, we know that Trump had a very close, more than a decade-long relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Bongino reportedly had a huge fight with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the release of the Epstein files, and there was an explosive meeting on Wednesday with Bongino, Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. Many MAGA influencers are now calling for Bondi to step down. Trump the other day had berated a reporter for asking about the Epstein files, a moment that made even the most loyal of MAGA supporters furious. We're going to keep following the story, so spread the word, follow along, and add the Midas Touch podcast right now on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Wow, this just an FBI director.
This is the thing. All of them. Kash Patel, Bundy, And Dan Bongino, he's scared as well. He's scared of Donald Trump. But I don't understand, how can you be afraid of some 79-year-old man? He is frail at this point. He's senile. Just blow on him. He's gonna fall. Even though he's a big old man, a big, 300-some-pound man, he's gonna fall. So Bundy, start telling the truth, because you're digging a hole for yourself the longer you continue to cover for Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about any of you. I would not go down for his doing. You didn't do it. He did it. And this is a particular creator, and he says on his title for his video is "They Can't Hide It Anymore," talking about Epstein. I'm gonna take a sip of water, then I'm gonna show you all, okay? Just a moment.
Okay, I'm going to be blunt. In this video, I'm going to prove that both the Department of Justice and the FBI are trying to sweep under the rug one of the most disgusting operations of human trafficking in recent history. And we're talking, of course, about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, whether you want to call it a client list or a blackmailing list or a black book, we're going to prove with pure logic and reasoning that all the records of this operation, including the names of the criminals who were Epstein's accomplices, helpers, and partners in crime, are being concealed from the public for some reason. Hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my body language analysis and tips. Let's get down to it. So we are going to start with the number one. What Epstein was really doing. Let's start from the beginning. Jeffrey Epstein did not just have a rich person party house. He had a highly organized system to bring in very young women and girls, some underage, to be abused sexually. These were not random encounters. It was systematic, happening over many years in different locations like New York, Florida, New Mexico, and his private island. This means that we are not talking about a one-time crime or a small mistake. We're talking about a decades-long criminal business with different moving parts that needed to work together. So, just from the scale of the operation, you're starting to realize that he and Ghislaine Maxwell just couldn't have done it all on their own. Which leads into number two. You cannot run an operation without keeping track of everything. Imagine that you run even a small delivery service, like pizza delivery. I just came up with that example. But anyway, you will need lists. Who orders, where to deliver, where to get your fresh ingredients, maintenance of all the appliances of the kitchen, who paid, who to call if there's a problem. Now, imagine Epstein's case. It's like a giant illegal delivery service, except that instead of pizzas, he was moving people, arranging meetings, hiding identities, booking flights, managing staff, and keeping powerful guests happy. Because at the very least, we know that many people either flew with him on his private jet or visited his private island and other properties. Without some kind of list, he would not know who was coming to visit, which victim or girl to schedule for each guest, which staff to assign for cleaning, catering, or security, when the private jets were taking off or landing, where the guests were supposed to sleep or hide. This is common sense. Even legal businesses need records, so a dangerous and illegal business needs them even more to control risk and keep leverage. Now, you might ask, leverage over what? Well, leverage over all those implicated, keeping it all as private as possible. Which brings us to number three. He needed leverage to stay alive. Epstein was not dealing with the low-level criminals. He was connected to very powerful people, politicians, billionaires, royals, and also famous scientists and academics. Why would these powerful people allow a single man to know their darkest secrets and not immediately eliminate him? The answer, Epstein had leverage. His client list could have just been a contact list, meaning names, dates, photos, all the videos are recorded from the many cameras installed in all his properties, witness records. All that was his weapon to keep himself safe. And let's think for a minute that he was not only trafficking people, he was also getting people to know each other, connecting scientists with people who could invest in the project. So if you had a party with a famous scientist, powerful politicians, and even royalty, that would add status to the party itself. Without a very thorough list to keep track of everything, as in who went to which party and for what reason, who was in which location, who met whom at each time, he would be completely vulnerable. Any guest could have exposed him to authorities, and he would have been jailed decades earlier. He only survived because people knew he could bring them down. Every single one of them. So, if there were truly no list or no book or whatever, Epstein would have no leverage. That would be like walking into Chicago's Washington Park, screaming the N-word and hoping for the best. But now, we need to play devil's advocate with a number 4. Even if it was just for himself, he needed an army of helpers. Let's pretend for a moment that Epstein never shared any of the girls with the guests. Let's say, for argument's sake, that it was all just for himself. Even if in this imaginary scenario, he still needed pilots to fly private jets, cooks and catering staff to prepare meals and keep guests fed, maids and cleaners to maintain the houses and disinfect rooms, drivers and security guards to escort girls, pick up guests, watch the perimeter, booking agents or schedules to arrange travel, accommodations, and activities, doctors or wellness staff to handle emergencies or keep victims quiet, and of course, lawyers and accountants to handle money and hush money payments. All of these people saw things. They knew who came and went. They knew the condition of the victims. They heard rumors. They saw guests arrive at odd hours. They saw who went into private rooms. These workers would be forced to sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, or be threatened into silence. Yet, even if they never spoke publicly, there would still be paperwork, receipts, employment records, flight logs, and supply invoices, everything. It is impossible to run such a complex hidden operation without these logistical people, and they would inevitably produce a trail. And with that trail, we land on number 5. Financial records prove connections. Epstein did not operate for free. He moved millions of dollars through shell companies, trust funds, and mysterious donations. When powerful people visited, they sometimes gave donations to his so-called foundations or offered consulting fees to hide payments. Even if nobody ever wrote for illegal services on a check, you still see money moving to charter jets, to hire extra staff, to book entire islands or properties, certain unexplained loans or gifts. All of this leaves a financial trail. I mean, the IRS and banks keep copies of these records for years. A serious investigation would reveal all the connections just by following the money. So if there is no list, then either the financial records are being hidden or destroyed, which is impossible because every institution involved would keep a copy, or someone is deliberately ignoring them. Not to mention number 6, guests' own schedules would expose them. Let's look at this from another angle, the guests themselves. Epstein's visitors didn't beam down from space. They booked flights, they canceled public appearances, they had security details. Every celebrity or politician has staff, assistants, and travel agents. If a well-known figure disappears for 3 days to go to Epstein's island, there are logs, there are private jet manifests which are kept by aviation authorities, security detailed travel plans, customs or immigration entries because of international travel, hotel or property guest logs. Even if fake names are used, payments will leave a trace. It is impossible for dozens, if not hundreds, of high-profile people to repeatedly vanish without leaving a record, especially in a world where paparazzi and journalists track movements obsessively. Which brings us to number 7. intelligence connections require records. Let's go full Alex Jones on this. Epstein has long been rumored to have ties to intelligence services, possibly as a blackmail asset. Intelligence agencies do not operate on "trust me bro" notes. They require proof of who is the mark, who is going to be compromised, photos, videos, and schedules, a clear record of who received favors so they can be controlled later. In intelligence work, a blackmail asset without documentation is worse than useless. In fact, it ends up becoming a liability. So, if Epstein was really being used to gather compromising information, he needed a meticulously detailed client list or blackmail archive. Well, maybe he was just a guy who wanted tons of fresh for himself. Now let's do a reasoning exercise with number 8. Reductio ad absurdum, proof by absurdity. Let's imagine a world where Epstein never kept a list. He would not know which girl to assign to which guest or to himself. He would not know which guest was arriving on which day. He would not know what preferences each guest had. He would not have any insurance to stop guests from betraying him. His entire operation, even if it was just for himself, would have been exposed almost immediately. Staff and helpers would not know what to prepare for, leading to constant mistakes, and mistakes, when you're doing illegal stuff, lead to unwanted exposure. It would be like trying to run a huge international hotel chain without any reservation system, without any guest logs, and without any payment records, while doing something illegal as fuck. This is obviously impossible. The logical conclusion is that the no-list claim is absurd. And that's why so many people are so pissed with Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and of course, Donald Trump. But wait, there's more. Number 9, silence of the helpers and employees. Even if we accept that you must hide victims' identities to protect their privacy, as Bondi said at some point, that is the right thing to do, what about all the people who worked for Epstein? You remember? The pilots, the catering staff who cooked for guests and saw them at dinner tables, the drivers who picked up and dropped off girls and VIPs, the housekeepers, the security guards who monitored cameras and saw everything happening on the property, the accountants and lawyers. All these people still exist. Their internal logs, contracts, pay slips, and travel schedules still exist. There is no way all these auxiliary witnesses simply vanish into thin air without leaving some kind of traceable document trail. And not all of them were innocent and naive witnesses. You can imagine that some of them were flat-out accomplices who Epstein trusted, and they should be prosecuted. But before we reach the inevitable conclusion, we need to address one more point. Number 10. Let's address a popular excuse some people float to explain why there is no client list release. They say, maybe the Department of Justice is concealing the list, not exposing the big fish, so they can fry them later for something bigger than statutory rape. Let's pretend for a moment that this is true. Even if the Department of Justice really was holding back the most powerful names to build bigger cases, that does not explain why they had taken zero action against the small fish. You remember that we were talking about scientists, artists, bankers, entrepreneurs, politicians, royalty, you name it, hanging out with Epstein? And we were talking about operational accomplices as well. It is impossible to believe that every single person involved with Epstein was a top-level big fish so valuable they need to be kept secret to be taken down later or keep them in constant blackmail. There must be mid-level and small-time people like small fish who are still guilty and could be prosecuted right now. If the Department of Justice and the FBI were truly serious about sending a message to this big fish, they could easily start by releasing or prosecuting these lower-tier collaborators. Doing so would achieve 2 things at once. It would demonstrate to the public that justice is real and active, And it would put pressure on the bigger players by showing that no one is immune. The fact that they have chosen to release nothing at all to protect not only the alleged high-level conspirators, but also somehow, for some reason, also protect the entire supporting structure of smaller enablers and anybody who remotely cooperated or was employed in the operation, that's an insult to anyone's intelligence. It suggests not a strategy to catch bigger fish, but a coordinated effort to protect everyone, big and small, and maintain this wall of silence around the entire operation. This alone reveals that the narrative of waiting to fry the big fish is logically impossible if even the smallest fry are left untouched. When you put all this together, it becomes logically impossible for Epstein to have run this complex, long-term, international criminal operation without keeping some form of list, record, or blackmail archive, even if he was the only customer. The idea that there is no client list is an absurd fairy tale meant to comfort powerful people and distract the public. And that's one of the reasons why I told you it was so important, the wording that Pam Bondi used when she appeared alongside Donald Trump, saying that Epstein had downloaded the videos, not recorded them.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Downloaded.
Big difference, because it means Pam Bondi wants to gaslight us into believing that Epstein was just sitting alone on his island, downloading gross videos from the internet, and that's it. So much for protecting women and girls. So in summary, if you can't run a pizza delivery without a list of customers and orders, you definitely cannot run a global trafficking and blackmailing empire without knowing who you're serving. But again, I would like to remind you that I am not suicidal, and I would like to know what you think about this. Don't forget to
be sure to subscribe to the Body Language Guy on YouTube. He's great at what he does. He normally just would give you cues about certain things with body language, their eyes, how they hold their head, how they hold their lips, different things. But today he broke down the situation with, I prove that Epstein client list exists. And I believe the man. I think it exists. I just think that we're being played with by the people that's supposed to be in control of this country. They are control freaks. So I'm going to show y'all something, and it's about after. Well, let's see what y'all saying in the chat first. Ed Form says there is no list. Yes, it is. I'm a black woman. I'm not even Russian, so go away with that. Get away from me with that, Ed Forms. Damien said women. Alan, what? Okay, he said Trump was president when he was. Donald Trump was the man in the Oval Office when Epstein was unalived. Yes, that's a fact. There's no way for them to get around it. They can't blame Biden, which they already started trying to blame President Biden. You sound like a fool when you do that, because he was not the man in the Oval Office. Donnie Boy was the man in the Oval Office, and it would have benefited him. So this particular video, it is about after the Musk-Trump clash, who was Epstein?
Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Kevin Spacey, and Prince Andrew. Epstein was friends with countless famous and powerful people in the US. But who was he? In 2005, Epstein was accused of sexual abuse. Despite overwhelming evidence, he only served 13 months in prison. As a financier in New York, Jeffrey Epstein quickly acquired wealthy and influential clients. He bought private jets, mansions, and even his own island, places where the crimes would allegedly take place. In 2019, new charges surfaced.
Hit the like button, please. Thank you.
He was arrested and jailed. Just weeks later, he was found dead in his Manhattan
Come on,
cell.
y'all. Hit the like button.
His death sparked controversies and fueled countless conspiracy theories. The official autopsy claims that he committed suicide, although many believe Epstein was murdered. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Kevin Spacey, and Prince Andrew. Epstein was friends with countless famous and powerful people in the US, but who was he? In 2005, Epstein was accused of sexual abuse. Despite overwhelming evidence, he only served 13 months in prison. As a financier,
nobody's going to convince me different that those men that they just mentioned didn't know what Epstein was doing. And they benefited from being around Epstein. Super freaks. They are very freaky boys.
No, been trying to get them pedophiles, swore up and down he's going to get them. Just wait, them Epstein files coming out, we're going to get them all, but now they don't exist. They asked Trump today, they asked about the Epstein file, he got all mad. He's like, you still talking about that? You still talk about there are people dying in Texas, and you talking about yes, you're talking about it because you ain't ever stopped talking about it. The reason they're talking about it is because you ran on it, and people gone on Fox for the past how many damn years going on and on and on about it. You the one. Trump though been trying to get them pedophiles, swore up and down he's going to get them. Just wait, them Epstein files coming out, we're going to get them all, but now they don't exist. They asked Trump today, they asked about the Epstein file, he got all mad. He's like,
oh, he got mad. Donald Trump was heated up because he wanted everybody to shut up talking about those Epstein files. He pretty much was like, shut the F up. That's pretty much what he was saying to the American people and the reporters that was questioning about the Epstein files. They exist. They just playing in our beautiful faces.
In this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names.
This is Donald Trump's attorney.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway, we don't take it home. And I really believe now with Cash and Pam, there will be accountability. But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names.
It's incredibly disturbing because y'all sitting here telling us one thing and it's another. This is something you said, Elena Harbor. Elena Harbor, you said it exists and that Cash and Bondi will make sure that people are held accountable. But right now, Cash Patel is considering kicking the boot. And Bondi continues to lie in the American people's face. Donald Trump continues to lie to the American people. He never stopped because Donald Trump is a compulsive liar.
Make you sick. 200 victims. 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did, along with his co-defendant. This will make you sick. 200 victims. 200.
Okay, Bondi, so 200 victims. There got to be Johns, baby. Nobody going to have all those victims and there's not any Johns. Donnie boy, are you one of those Johns? Inquiring minds want to know, Donald J. Trump. Are you one of those Johns? Because you hung with Epstein a lot and you have been seen in photos with Epstein with young girls, young females. You're not innocent, Donnie boy. You're not innocent in anything that is going on. You are a part of it. They're covering for you. Sad, but it's true.
We're now learning that Trump held talks about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell over fears that the Epstein accomplice and convicted sex trafficker would spill secrets about Trump's more than decade-long friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, so says author and Trump biographer Michael Wolff. According to Wolff on the Daily Beast podcast, Trump began asking, quote, "What could she say? What would she say?" Wolff said that Trump and Epstein did everything together and even shared at least one girlfriend for at least a year. He described them as being, quote, "Two guys joined at the hip for a good 15 years, brothers in arms for a long time," and said, quote, "I dare say they kind of loved each other." And when Maxwell was going to be brought to trial on sex trafficking charges, Trump considered pardoning her before his inner circle pushed back and told him it would backfire. Then Trump ended up making that bizarre, quote, "I wish her well" comment when asked about Maxwell during the press conference. I'm sure you all remember that. The White House is denying this story, calling the author a, quote, "lying sack of shit." We're going to continue to follow this and more, so make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So we are now learning that Trump held talks about pardoning.
Trump like, hey, y'all ain't getting the information. You're never getting the list. You would never be able to say I was on that list. Donnie, we saw the flight log, so we know you on that list. We saw you in several photos with Epstein, so we know who's on the list. We know, baby. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to show you something. I guess this is not real, Donnie. Oh, it's a real photo. It's not AI, Donnie. It's real. Very real. And it says Trump reportedly weighed pardoning convicted ex-trafficker Giselle Maxwell. Her name is hard for me to say. I apologize, y'all. I do. Trump weighed in on pardoning her. And then you was told it wouldn't be a good look, so you backed down. She still can talk. You might come out better pardoning her because it's hot right now. The block is hot. Hey, Pennsylvania Avenue is hot right now, Donnie. You better release this woman, pardon her, because, hey, if I was her, I would be running my choppers. I would be telling everything. I'd be like, because they can do interviews while being locked up. I'd be contacting people, send somebody to come interview me. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to tell it all. She needs to do that because she's the only one going down in this situation. When the Johns need to be taken down too. I don't care who it is. Republican, Democrat, the one in the Oval Office right now, I don't care. If you mess with little kids, you need to be punished to the fullest of the law. So, the Department of Justice has officially closed the Jeffrey Epstein investigation and says it's no intention of releasing any further documents to the public. Let me translate that for you. That's what somebody said. It says no client list, no evidence of blackmail. That's what they're trying to make us think. No names, no accountability. Just an extremely wealthy ex-trafficker who had no clients, no footage, and a magically malfunctioning camera system that is in the federal prison. They're talking about the whole minute or so that's missing from the footage from the federal prison when, he was unalived. They say he unalived himself. I don't believe it if it happened. And now they're slamming the door shut permanently. Ask yourself, if there wasn't nothing to hide, why was every angle erased? Every record sealed and every witness silenced. Again, I'm going to read it to you. Hit the like button, please. Ask yourself, if there was nothing to hide, why was every angle erased? Every record sealed and every witness silenced. Ask yourself that about why this particular administration will not release the list. And now they tell us it's no list when Pam Bondi said the list was on her desk. She doesn't know best. She's a hot mess.
So why is Trump's FBI lying about Jeffrey Epstein? Are they covering for Trump? Remember Jeffrey Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre, who unfortunately took her life back in April. Well, she also
I don't believe she took her life either.
In that diary, this is what she wrote, quote, "I used to be watched by Epstein's hidden cameras, which I've seen myself. The FBI have the archive footage showing me being abused by other men, used as blackmail." So where is this FBI footage? Why aren't they listing the names of men who were abusing Giuffre and potentially other women? Where is it? They're saying that the investigation's over with and they have no more information. And why did they announce today that they have no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals? What's going on here? Is Trump just simply covering for the man who used to call him his best friend? So why is Trump's FBI lying about Jeffrey Epstein? Are they covering for Trump? Remember Jeffrey Epstein victims?
They're covering for Trump. In my opinion, I'm entitled to my opinion. I honestly believe that the FBI is covering for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is no angel. Donald Trump is the biggest monster and thug in America. He has 34 felonies. I don't put anything past a man to have more felonies than Jeffrey Dahmer and more felonies than the biggest crime mob. Donald Trump can't be trusted. Wake up, America. Wake up.
I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If this is the verdict, there's no Epstein client list, then all of us that have installed Bongino and Cash Patel, the whole Trump administration, period, all they talked about was transparency.
Yep.
If we don't get accountability for the thousands of victims that were abused, who knows what type of crimes we're talking, then I'm jumping ship. And all of you should as well. I'm a Trump supporter.
Trump, MAGA tie. You need to just fess up. Stop lying. There comes a time when God wants you to be honest with yourself and take accountability. You're never going to step a foot in heaven. So just fess up. Fess up. Please. Stop playing in the American people's face. Tell the truth that you were a part of something. Where's your name on that list? Own it. Y'all say y'all own the libs. Well, own this. Own it. So this is a photo on with Donald Trump on Epstein's private jet, which right now Donald Trump has, I think, ownership of this private jet because he used it during his rallies, going out doing his campaign. He had it wrapped, and it's a photo of him and Epstein sitting together on this private jet. And Donnie said he didn't know him. Donnie. And you say he a creepy guy, honey, you a creepy guy. Any man trying to go in there and look at those teens from the pageant days, you just bust up in their dressing rooms. You are the biggest creep ever. You and Epstein was friends because y'all was just alike, Donnie. Birds of a feather flock together, honey. Yes, God. So maybe this Epstein list disappeared to the same place as the bullet wound on Trump's ear. Somebody wrote that. I'm going to read that again. Maybe the Epstein list disappeared to the same place as that bullet wound on Trump's ear because Donnie, you lied about that. Nobody heals like that quick, especially not an old, crusty, senile man that wears a pissy depends. 78 years old, when that happened to you, look at the band at Holyfield ear when Mike Tyson bit his ear off. It haven't grown back yet, and he was younger. This happened to you at 78, Donnie boy. Mr. Pissy Depends. You lied to the American people then. How can we believe you now? A compulsive liar, Donald J. Trump. One moment. Hold on just a little while longer. But that's pretty much what all I have for you all today. I want to thank y'all for coming to my live. Before you leave out, please hit the like button. I'm going to read just a couple of your comments. John says, so crooks took one for the team. I guess so. If you're proud of a crook, then go ahead, baby. More power to you. DCM says his ear was cut, not cut off. No, they claimed that he got shot on his ear, grazed on his ear. Where is the scar tissue? Where is the bruises? Nobody's piece of, if that type of gun, pow would have piled him on his ear, he will have a piece of his ear missing. Donnie is a fake. And honey, Mr. Timms, only Timms, honey, why would I be jealous of a pissy depends? Are you kidding me? I'm young and vibrant at 51 years old, look good, smell good, don't have to wear a pissy depends. I'm like Joe Biden, baby. Joe Biden don't have no pissy depends. Joe Biden can ride a bike and all. Donald Trump get on the bike is going to break. He's over 200 pounds. What a shame and a scandal. Daniel Wright said, what did Trump do to your face? What did Donald Trump do to your entire body? You fat and spunky. I can imagine you right now sitting watching me on your desktop, an old desktop at that, and sitting there eating ham sandwich with cheese. That's why you're going to be constipated. Smith says Trump is pro 270. Yes. And Jay Wilkes says Taco Donnie is horrible. Yes, he is. Thank you. Thank you. Taco Man is a horrible man. He doesn't care about anyone. Ed Morton, you better hope Donald Trump can stand up, because did you not see him fall going up the steps to get on his plane? Child, please. Mark, you need Jesus, honey. Your brain is bad. Fix it, Jesus. I want to thank you. Hit that like button before y'all go out. Come on, hit that like button. Hit the like button right now. Hit that like button. Stop playing in my face. I come on here and I give y'all the goods of what's going on. You can't continue to play in my face. I'm not going to allow it. I give y'all love. I give you the latest updates. I let y'all know what's going on with the Epstein files, even some of the deepest things that's going on with the Epstein files. Come on, hit that like button. Come on. I love y'all. Thank you so much, King Ricardo Birch. Thank you. I love you. You love my teeth. I love you, baby. Hit that like button before y'all head up out of here. I will not go live this weekend, but I'm going to be back Monday. So I hope to see each and every last one of y'all Monday. You mean so much to me. I love each and every last one of y'all. Because of you, I can do this. Without you, I would not be able to. Because without the viewers, there's no YouTuber. There's no content creator. With you, I'm able to continue doing this. And I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Keep me in your prayers, and you are in my prayers. Thank you too. Thank you so much, King Soup Kitchen Hero. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jay Wilkes said Elon has a backup copy of the list. He says he's going to release it. Anonymous said they're going to release it too. I think it's going to get released. I honestly do. Hit that like button as you guys are heading out of here. I love you. May God to continue to bless you. I pray that nothing but prosperity is in your life. Believe in God every day. Know that Jesus Christ has you. There's no greater love than Jesus Christ. I love you guys. Enjoy this beautiful weekend. And come back Monday and put in the chat and let me know all about it. Bye, you guys. Have a great weekend.